The Galactic Empire was the most powerful force in the entire galaxy. With their huge fleets of ships, advanced weapons, and billions of soldiers, they controlled everything they set their eyes on. They had conquered planets, wiped out entire species, and left no one to challenge their might. Across the stars, they were feared and respected, known for their cruelty and strength. For centuries, no one dared to oppose them. Their empire stretched far and wide, dominating the galaxy with an iron fist. The empire believed that they could take whatever they wanted, without facing any real resistance. They had never once met a force that was strong enough to stand up to them. This gave them an air of arrogance and overconfidence, something that grew with each victory they claimed. And then there was Earth. To the Empire, Earth seemed like just another primitive planet. They had heard of humanity, but to them, humans were nothing more than a small, insignificant species. Earth had no real power, no advanced technology, no fleets of warships or armies of soldiers. It was just a blue and green planet at the edge of the galaxy, home to a population of billions who lived without knowing anything about the greater galactic world. The Galactic Empire had encountered many species, most of which had been conquered or enslaved without much trouble. They had heard that humans were fierce and that Earth was somehow special, but the Empire dismissed it as nothing more than stories and exaggerations from alien species who feared humanity's potential. They believed that any threats from Earth could easily be crushed under their boot. So they sent an envoy, a group of their best officers and diplomats, on a mission to Earth. Their orders were clear: establish dominance over Earth and bring the humans under the Empire's control. There would be no war, no violence. The humans would simply submit, as all the other species had. They believed the human race was too weak to resist the power of the Empire. When the envoy arrived in Earth's solar system, they did not see anything that caused them to worry. Their ships were enormous, sleek, and deadly, but Earth's defense systems were nothing compared to the might of the Empire. They were confident. The Empire's ships easily bypassed Earth's outer defenses, which were no more than a few outdated satellites and systems. There was no sign of resistance. They expected the humans to be terrified, to bend the knee to the Empire's overwhelming power. Upon entering Earth's atmosphere, the Empire's diplomats made their way to the planet's capital. The human government had been contacted, but the leaders did not seem to fully understand the weight of the Empire's presence. The message from the Empire was simple. Earth was now a part of the Galactic Empire, and any resistance would be crushed without mercy. The humans were to surrender peacefully, allow the Empire's rule, and open their resources for the Empire's use. The Imperial officers, with their arrogance shining through, thought it would be an easy task. They would land on Earth, issue an ultimatum, and then return home, victorious. There was no question in their minds that humans would comply. After all, who could stand up to the mighty Galactic Empire? The Empire's officers met with Earth's leaders in a grand yet simple ceremony. They wore their shining uniforms, their medals and insignias gleaming under the lights. They spoke with authority, their words dripping with the power they believed they commanded. They even offered Earth's leaders the opportunity to join the Empire's ranks, to share in the glory of their empire. The humans would simply have to fall in line. No one would resist. But to their surprise, the humans did not cower. They did not submit or bow down. Instead, they listened quietly, then stood firm. The Earth leaders did not panic or act afraid. They calmly informed the Empire's officers that Earth would not join their empire. They would not be ruled by anyone. They would fight to protect their world if necessary. It was a small, simple message, but it was one that stunned the Empire's diplomats. They could not believe their ears. They had expected fear. They had expected panic. But what they found was something else, something they had never encountered before. The humans were not afraid. The humans did not back down. In the moments that followed, the Imperial officers realized they might have made a grave mistake. They had underestimated Earth. They had thought humans were too weak to resist the power of the Galactic Empire. But they were wrong. The humans had no intention of surrendering, no intention of submitting to their so-called superior rule. The Empire's overconfidence had clouded their judgment, and now it was too late to turn back. The Galactic Empire had underestimated humanity. They thought Earth was just another insignificant planet. They thought the humans would cower in fear. But they were about to learn the hard truth. They had made the biggest mistake of their galactic history. The Galactic Empire had expected the humans to bend to their will, but what happened next left them in complete shock. After delivering their message, the Empire's envoy waited for the humans to submit. But instead of surrender, something strange began to happen. The humans didn't seem frightened or intimidated. They seemed calm, too calm. The Imperial officers were puzzled but believed that the humans were simply stalling for time. Perhaps they were afraid to admit defeat, but the Empire had more than enough power to crush any resistance. However, as the hours passed, something began to feel off. The humans were too quiet, too still. No one was panicking. No one was trying to flee. The lead diplomat, Commander Varric, ordered the envoy's fleet to remain in orbit above Earth, ready to act if needed. He and his team stayed in communication with their home base, receiving updates from their superiors. But then the unexpected happened. One by one, the communication signals from Earth began to fade. First, it was the fleet's comms with the local human leaders. Then, the entire diplomatic group's transmissions began to go silent. At first, the Empire's officers assumed it was just some technical issue. Maybe the humans were blocking their signals or scrambling communications. But as minutes turned into hours, the situation began to look much darker. The last message the envoy received was a short, simple warning: "Leave Earth, or you will regret it." The voice was calm, eerily so, but the coldness in it sent a chill through Commander Varric. Confused but not yet afraid, the Empire's fleet commander ordered the ships to land, intending to take full control of Earth's capital. But when they attempted to land, their ships were met with resistance. The human defense systems, which they had thought were outdated and harmless, were suddenly active. High-tech energy shields appeared around key areas of the planet, blocking their landing attempts. The Empire's ships tried to fire at the shields, but their weapons did nothing. Commander Varric's confidence started to crack. What was happening? The humans hadn't shown any signs of advanced technology or military might, yet here they were, displaying capabilities that should have been impossible for a species they had written off as primitive. Something was not right. The most frightening part came when the Empire's flagship, the largest and most advanced warship in their fleet, suddenly lost all communication with the rest of the envoy. The ship's sensors went dark, the crew's systems malfunctioned, and within minutes it simply vanished from the radar. One moment it was there, and the next it was gone without a trace. It was as if the ship had never existed. There were no explosions, no wreckage, no signals, nothing. Just an eerie silence. Commander Varric and the rest of the fleet scrambled to figure out what was happening. They tried sending search parties, but none of them returned. The human government had gone quiet, and the Empire's own ships were unable to make sense of their surroundings. It was as if Earth itself was hiding something from them, something far beyond their understanding. The Empire's command center on the flagship tried to re-establish communication with the envoy, but every attempt was blocked. Their screens flickered, and then, in a moment of terrifying clarity, the fleet saw it. A massive, ancient warship that appeared out of nowhere, silently emerging from the planet's atmosphere. It was unlike anything the Empire had ever seen. Dark, sleek, and enormous, with a power that could be felt even through the vast distance of space. The ship wasn't from any known species in the Empire's records. It had no markings, no signs of identification. It was a relic, a ship from a time long forgotten, and yet it was powerful enough to make even the Empire's mighty fleet look small and fragile in comparison. The last transmission the Empire received before it was completely cut off was simple: you were warned. Then, the mysterious ship vanished back into the depths of space, leaving the Galactic Empire's envoy stranded, confused, and terrified. For the first time, the Empire realized they might have bitten off more than they could chew. The humans had been underestimated, and the mysterious disappearance of the envoy was only the beginning. The Galactic Empire's greatest mistake was not realizing that Earth was far more dangerous than they had ever imagined, and now they would pay the price. The Galactic Empire had made a grave mistake by underestimating Earth. After the sudden disappearance of their envoy, confusion and panic spread across the Imperial fleet. Commander Varric and his officers were left with more questions than answers. Where had the envoy gone? What was that massive warship they had seen? And why were the humans able to fight back when they were supposed to be weak? Little did they know, the humans had been preparing for this moment for a long time. Earth was not the defenseless, primitive planet the Empire had believed it to be. The truth about Earth's hidden fleet was far beyond the Empire's wildest imagination. While the Empire focused on expanding their reach across the galaxy, Earth had quietly been preparing. It wasn't just the humans who lived on the planet. Earth had always been home to many secrets. Over centuries, hidden in deep space, Earth's leaders had secretly built a fleet of ancient ships so powerful that even the Galactic Empire could never have imagined them. These ships were not built with modern technology, but with the wisdom and knowledge of ancient civilizations that had once ruled the galaxy, long before the Empire's rise to power. The humans had discovered these ships deep in the asteroid belt, hidden in a forgotten part of space. Over time, they learned how to unlock their power, how to reawaken these relics from a time long past. These ships were unlike anything the Galactic Empire had ever seen. They were massive, armored, and equipped with weaponry that was far more advanced than the Empire's. Yet, despite their power, they had been kept a secret, hidden from the Empire's prying eyes. The reason for this secrecy was simple. Earth had always been a peaceful planet, focusing on science, exploration, and diplomacy. The humans had no desire for war. But they also knew that the galaxy was not always peaceful. They knew that one day the Empire or another powerful force might come to Earth, believing it to be an easy target. And when that day came, Earth would be ready. What the Empire didn't realize was that Earth's hidden fleet had been designed not just for defense, but for destruction. The fleet's ships were capable of incredible power, with energy weapons that could shatter entire fleets with a single shot. The fleet's stealth technology allowed it to move undetected, and its advanced cloaking systems made it nearly invisible to enemy ships. The moment the Empire's envoy arrived, the hidden fleet was already on high alert. Earth's leaders had been monitoring the Empire's movements for years, preparing for this very scenario. As soon as the first signs of trouble appeared, the fleet was activated. The ships emerged from their secret hiding places, silently rising from their deep space stations and heading towards Earth. They were ready to defend the planet, and more importantly, they were ready to show the Empire what humanity was capable of. The first of these ships, the largest of them all, had been in hiding for thousands of years. It was called Exodus. It was a massive, ancient warship that dwarfed even the Empire's largest vessels. The Exodus had been built by a civilization long lost to time, but it was still the most powerful weapon in existence. Its crew was made up of humans who had been trained in secret for generations. They were ready to fight, to protect Earth at any cost. As the Empire's fleet struggled to maintain control, Earth's hidden fleet moved into position. One by one, the Empire's ships began to disappear from radar, their communication signals jammed, their engines disabled. The Empire's advanced technology was useless against Earth's ancient warships. The humans had waited for this moment, and now they were showing the Empire just how powerful they truly were. The Galactic Empire had thought they could easily conquer Earth, but they were wrong. They had no idea that behind Earth's peaceful appearance lay a force that could match and even surpass their own power. The humans had spent centuries building this fleet, knowing that one day they would need it to protect their home. And now, that day had come. The Galactic Empire had never faced anything like this before. The loss of their envoy, the mysterious disappearance of their flagship, and the sudden appearance of Earth's powerful hidden fleet threw the Empire into chaos. Commander Varric and his officers were panicking. Their ships were being taken down one by one, and they had no idea how to fight back. The once confident Empire was now scrambling to make sense of what was happening. At the heart of the Empire, the supreme commander of the Imperial fleet, Lord Zarnak, was furious. For years, the Empire had expanded across the galaxy, crushing weaker civilizations and expanding its dominance. No one had dared challenge their power. But now, Earth, a planet they had seen as weak and insignificant, had dared to stand up to them. And it wasn't just the humans, it was their hidden fleet, ancient, powerful, and far beyond anything the Empire had expected. Lord Zarnak immediately called a war council with his top generals and strategists. The Empire was known for its ruthlessness, and they were not going to let this challenge go unanswered. "We have underestimated Earth," Zarnak said, his voice cold and menacing. "But now we will show them why the Empire is supreme. We will crush them, no matter what it takes." The Empire's fleet was vast, but they were struggling to adapt to the situation. Their weapons were ineffective against Earth's ships, and their technology was being outmatched at every turn. But Zarnak was not one to give up easily. He ordered his fleet to regroup and prepare for a counterattack. If Earth's fleet had the advantage of surprise, then it was time for the Empire to regain control. The first step was to send in reinforcements. Zarnak called for backup from the Imperial High Command. Massive warships, full of elite soldiers and advanced weapons, were dispatched to Earth's system. These ships were some of the most powerful the Empire had, and Zarnak was confident that they could turn the tide in their favor. He also ordered the deployment of more advanced tactics, cloaking devices to sneak past Earth's radar, electronic warfare to disable the enemy's communications, and new weapons designed to destroy Earth's fleet from a distance. But even with all of these reinforcements, Zarnak knew that the battle was far from over. Earth had shown its true strength, and the Empire was facing a force that could not be easily defeated. The Empire had always relied on its superior technology and numbers, but against Earth's hidden fleet, that wasn't enough. The War Council continued late into the night. Zarnak's anger only grew as he realized that the situation was far worse than he had imagined. The Empire had failed to subdue Earth with their first strike, and now they were fighting a battle they never expected to face. The once powerful Empire was now forced into a defensive position, scrambling for any advantage they could get. As the reinforcements arrived, the Empire's fleet tried once again to push back against Earth's ships. But this time, Earth was ready. The humans had prepared for every move the Empire could make. The hidden fleet was not just a defensive force, it was a force designed for counterattack. Earth's ships moved with precision and coordination, launching surprise strikes and using their superior speed to outmaneuver the Empire's forces. The Empire's fleet struggled to keep up, losing more ships in the battle. Their weapons, once thought to be invincible, were no match for Earth's advanced technology. With every passing minute, the Empire's confidence faltered. Lord Zarnak realized that their initial arrogance had been their greatest weakness. They had believed that Earth was just another weak planet to conquer, but instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. Frustrated and furious, Zarnak knew that the Empire could not afford to lose this fight. If they were to have any chance of success, they would need to change their strategy. It was no longer about brute force. It was about outthinking the humans and finding a way to defeat their powerful fleet. But with every new tactic the Empire tried, they found that Earth was always one step ahead. The humans had prepared for this battle for centuries. They had known that one day the Empire would come, and they had made sure they were ready. The battle for Earth had begun, and it was unlike anything the Galactic Empire had ever faced before. Commander Varric, along with the rest of the Imperial fleet, had hoped to crush the humans quickly and decisively. But Earth's hidden fleet was proving to be a powerful force, one that the Empire could not easily defeat. The humans, who the Empire once saw as weak and insignificant, were now fighting back with everything they had. The Empire's massive warships, each brimming with advanced weaponry, were on full attack mode. Yet, despite their firepower, they struggled to land a hit on Earth's fleet. The humans' ships, stealthy and fast, darted around the Empire's much larger vessels with ease, using their advanced cloaking technology to remain hidden until the last moment. Then, they would strike quickly, delivering devastating blows to the Empire's ships before disappearing back into the shadows. As the battle raged on, Commander Varric watched in disbelief. His ships, once unstoppable, were now being destroyed one by one. Earth's fleet was more advanced than anything the Empire had ever encountered, and it seemed the humans had been waiting for this moment. It wasn't just the ships, they were organized. They fought as one, their tactics flawless, as if they had been training for centuries for this very fight. On Earth's side, the atmosphere was one of quiet determination. The humans were fighting for their home, their families, and their way of life. They had spent generations preparing for this day, knowing that the Empire would one day come. Now they were ready. The hidden fleet was not just a group of ships. It was a symbol of everything the humans had built in secret. It was their last line of defense, and they would use it to protect their planet at all costs. The first wave of Imperial reinforcements had already been dealt a heavy blow. Earth's ships had taken out several of the Empire's larger warships, leaving the Imperial fleet reeling. But the Empire was not one to back down easily. Lord Zarnak, watching from his flagship, ordered the deployment of even more forces. More warships, more soldiers, and more weapons. The Empire would not be humiliated by a small planet like Earth. However, the more the Empire pushed forward, the more they realized they were outmatched. The Empire's weapons, which had once been unstoppable, were now ineffective against Earth's fleet. The humans had developed weapons that could disable entire ships with a single shot. Their energy cannons ripped through Imperial shields, leaving their warships vulnerable to destruction. Even the most advanced cloaking technology, the Empire had failed to detect Earth's ships until it was too late. As the battle continued, Earth's fleet began to gain the upper hand. The humans used their advanced tactics to trap the Empire ships, cornering them in areas where they couldn't escape. The humans had studied every aspect of the Empire's strategy and knew exactly how to counter it. The Empire had underestimated Earth, and now they were paying the price. Despite their losses, the Empire continued to fight. They unleashed all their remaining firepower, hoping to turn the tide of the battle. But Earth's fleet was too powerful, too well prepared. The battle turned into a war of attrition. One by one, the Empire's ships began to fall, their massive warships being torn apart by the humans' precise strikes. In the final moments of the battle, the Empire's fleet was in disarray. Their ships were battered and broken, their forces scattered. Commander Varric knew the battle was lost. Earth's fleet had proven too strong, too organized, and too determined to be defeated. On the surface of Earth, the people watched as the skies cleared. The once feared Imperial fleet had been destroyed, and their hidden fleet had emerged victorious. It was a moment of triumph for the humans, a moment that would go down in history as one of their greatest victories. The Galactic Empire had come to Earth expecting an easy conquest, but instead they had faced a fierce, determined enemy. The humans had proven that they would never surrender their planet, no matter how powerful their opponents were. The battle for Earth was over, and humanity had won. As the dust settled and the smoke from the battle cleared, Earth's fleet turned their attention to the future. The Empire had learned a harsh lesson that day. Never underestimate Earth. The galaxy would never be the same, and Earth's place among the stars had been secured.